On this episode of Rod Knock Ranch, Steve Dulcich sends us home with the actual Barbecuda from Roadkill Garage. And it's good! So we're down here at Dulcich's again. It's been a few weeks since we were here. We brought him his new
CJ3A.
CJ3A, that's right. That's what we brought him.
It's long gone. You forgot about it, right?
Yeah. As we were walking around here the other day, I noticed a car that I recognized from TV. This is the Barbecuda.
I've had this thing sitting here for 5 years, and I've got no intention of doing anything with it. In fact, I was going to take everything off of it that had any value to me and then just scrap it, because it's not a project I'm going to tackle.
We couldn't let that happen.
No. So, Will, I mean, you know, I don't want to feel bad about this whole transaction. So, I mean, if you think I'm ripping you off,
No.
you got to let me know.
Look, I completely and fully understand this thing is garbage and worth nothing, but it's worth something to us, and we want to make it run and drive again.
Freiberger and I got it running as a burnt up car. And
Yeah.
Other than a bunch of rust and debris flying in my eyes, it actually drove really nicely.
Perfect. So we're planning on 200 miles an hour in the quarter mile. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, no problemo.
Take it.
It'll do it.
Johnny, you driving it?
I'm in the passenger seat, I guess.
Oh, man, that's even worse.
We're gonna
than
bolt
driving.
2 seats into this thing.
I don't know. We're gonna see.
I'm excited. This car for me was like super inspirational when you guys did your video on it. And I was telling you earlier, it was probably the worst thing that could have happened for me, because it showed me that there's nothing that's too far gone. You can bring anything back, even this completely toasted Barbecuda.
Yeah, I mean, it was a heartbreaker for me because I really liked this car.
Yeah.
I searched for at least 2 years to find the Barbecuda that was a 68 fastback that I could afford.
Right.
And this was it.
Yep.
I drove it a lot. I did like probably half a dozen different magazine articles on it. I chassis dynoed it. You know, I had a lot of fun with this car, but...
And then the fire.
Yeah, then it burned up, and that was the end of that for me.
Yeah, I can imagine the loss of motivation with
Yeah.
the thing. Well, we're excited, and this is the Barbecuda that I can afford.
Okay, free.
Yeah, that's it. I try too hard sometimes. I have too many cars, and I can bring anything back to life, and this car showed me that, and we're going to do it with this car one more time.
All right.
All
I'm
right.
looking forward to seeing it, and
Yeah.
it won't be long, right?
No, it won't be long. We're hoping a couple months we can get it down a drag strip in maybe Tucson, Arizona. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, but for now, let's get this thing loaded on the trailer.
Let's get it out of your yard and into my yard. We are loaded up, and we're gonna go grab a bite to eat with Dulcich real quick, and then we are on our way home. Barbecuda going to Rod Knock Ranch. What a crazy thing. The Barbecuda has landed. We are back at the ranch. We have the trailer and the car in the shop right now. We have a little bit of a predicament. We got to get this thing off of the trailer. Steve gave me a 7 1/4 rear end. I have no leaf springs, I have no shackles, and I have no shackle mounts. Now, I do have those on our banged up Duster out there. I want to try to not kill that Duster if I can help it, because it actually runs and drives really well. I have these pieces of way heavy angle iron cut that I'm gonna stick up on the frame rails here and just tack weld them on both sides. And that'll give me a cross member across that I can bolt or hose clamp or something a rear end to, just so I can get tires onto this thing for now, so we can roll it around and work on it and get an engine in it and everything else like that. So we got our angle iron cross member deals in, and we got the car jacked up. We're gonna try to put a GM 10 bolt underneath this thing. We have one that's only a couple inches longer than the 7 1/4, so I think if we can make it happen, we'll put that in here long term.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is what we in the business call a good job right there.
I came in after rolling up from the barn, and Will's like, "Are you okay? Are you gonna die?" I was like, "I'm just fat, dude. I'm sorry."
That thing's freaking stance, dude.
Seems to be pretty good. I like the stance. I think we need to do whatever we can
To make that stance
to make
happen.
that stance happen. Yeah, it's. Yeah, give that brakes. Stuck the landing. The engine program. I don't want to spend a bunch of money trying to get this car to run. It's just not worth it. It means a lot to me, but it's not worth dumping the whole wallet into. So I'm gonna make this thing run mostly with parts that I already have sitting on the shelf. And that begins with a small block Chevy and a Power Glide. We have a race in 2 months in Tucson, Arizona, and a small block Chevy is going to be powering the Barbecuda down the track. And I know you might be mad that we're not putting a Mopar engine back in the car. I just don't want to spend the kind of money that it's going to take for me to get my hands on a Mopar engine and then all the little odds and ends that go with it. The Barbecuda will live again and it will do burnouts, this time with GM power. If I can go with this height, I can get the oil filter off. Headers are going to be something else. The header will be no problem there. This header will be a problem for sure. I think I'm pretty centered actually. So we're gonna figure something funny out there. This might not work. No, those aren't gonna work. Huh. We've come to the conclusion that this is pretty much where the engine is gonna live. We were talking about cutting the back of the oil pan so that we could clear the steering center link that's in the back here. That's not gonna work because we have to cut it and then we run into the oil pump immediately. So that can't happen. So we're just gonna mount the engine just above it. It's gonna be sitting super high. This is about as high as we can go while clearing the center link and also clearing the trans tunnel. So we're gonna start the mock-up phase of the motor mounts. So that should be pretty straightforward. This thing's rocked a little bit the way we have it hanging, so we're gonna get it squared up, centered, and then start busting out motor mounts.
Thankfully, our buddy Matt has saved us a couple of minutes and donated these plates. And we were, I mean, what? It saved us like 20 minutes and a couple of annoying drills.
Yeah.
So
we'll use those to bolt onto the engine.
So I just cut these little tabs off, and now we get to put them on. And this
cut the tabs
Stop. And this is what it looks like on it. And so now we just need something to mount to this guy, and then zap a little bar from there, tube, from there to there. And then Will be a happy man.
That's right. I cut the tabs off.
He's lying to you guys. Don't listen to him.
First engine mount is done, just gotta weld it up.
Have you seen somebody do that awkward before?
Nope. Cool. Small block Chevy swapped. On to the next project. This is awesome. This is the best day ever. All my friends showed up for my birthday and we're all thrashing on this car to get it done, and it's awesome. Everyone's got a job except for me right now. I'm not doing nothing.
This duster's allowed to be dusted, all right? We are taking the rear suspension because we are impatient. We don't want to wait to order leaf springs for the Barbecuda. So we're just gonna steal this for now. Now we take it all apart. Hopefully it's not all bent out of shape, you know what I'm saying? First one done.
Nice. Johnny got himself a leaf spring with hangers that are going to fit the Barbecuda.
Oh my god.
Hey, I got a camera in your face.
I got one in your face.
Oh, wow.
With the leaf springs out, James has taken it upon himself to fully install them on the Barbecuda. And that's why we love him. And I'm doing other things. And it's not sitting down doing nothing, I promise you. But it doesn't need to be filming because it's tedious stuff that you don't need to see. It's okay.
AJ brought his plasma cutter today, and he's going to be plasma cutting.
We're going to make that smooth.
Yeah, so this is all GM A-body stuff. Those are 4-link cars, so
You need to make it done.
yeah, going to cut all that stuff off because it's going to be in the way of the leaf springs. So good job, guys. Doing the thing. So this is something that we thought we were going to be doing on day one, but Dulcich couldn't find the springs for this thing. So we're finally here. The rear end is dropping down onto the leaf springs, and this time it's a GM 10 bolt, which is slightly better than the Mopar 7 1/4. Send her home, Mr. AJ. Bam!
He went
Violently. He sent
full
it.
send.
He sent it home.
It's kind of a crusty jack.
That'll work.
That'll do it.
That'll work.
Yep.
It's ever so slightly lower than I wanted it, but I'm cool with it. So here's what we got. James just vacuumed out the whole car. So the floors are clean now, which is great for the next thing that I'm gonna be doing. He did a good job. This thing is spotless. And then Jasper is over here. He is upset about the fender not being on the car, so he's doing whatever he's doing right now to make this fender sit on the car. What are you doing over here, Jasper?
I am going to create new mounting points for this fender. So basically I'm going to reline this up so that we can have this sit flush.
Perfect. I like
in
it.
place.
That looks
So
good.
I'm going to re-drill holes and put new hardware to mount this and then mount the fender to this.
Awesome. Love it. I am about to jump in the car and start wiring. So I'm not wiring to anything, but I know where everything's gonna go. So we're gonna get a fuse box and ignition switch and all that other fun stuff. We're gonna make a couple of lights work to go down the drag strip. So that's the next thing that I'm jumping on. And I got a nice clean car to do it now, thanks to James. The first step in the wiring process is to get some kind of dash or switch panel or something into that thing because everything melted out. So I found this old drawer. It's some pretty thin sheet metal, and check this out. It matches perfectly. So we're gonna use this thing. I'm gonna cut it up and bend it up, and we'll get a panel in there. We can mount some switches and probably the gauges as well. So we got our piece of steel cut out. I got lines measured out. We're gonna throw it in the sheet metal brake now and put a couple of bends in it. It's my first time using the sheet metal brake. Pretty excited. We're using all kinds of sheet metal tools that I've never used before. Something like that. We'll stop at about 90 for now. Pretty good. Good purchase right there. All right, with a little bit of massaging and cutting, that is our new switch panel, probably dash as well. Let's go inside the car and throw it in. All right, we got Jasper and his lovely wife, Alex.
That one broke.
That one broke.
Nice, saw that coming. They are working on plugging up all these holes in the firewall so that when this whole thing catches on fire, doesn't come through to whoever's driving this junk. Jasper's going above and beyond to make sure that this firewall is a firewall again. He's doing all kinds of fancy stuff, so stay tuned for that.
We have the sheet metal we'll use for the gauge cluster. So I already filled that hole, and it looks like it belongs, so good on you. Thank you, Jasper. He's gonna fill that one and then a couple of little ones, but he's doing a good job. Say you're doing a good job.
Stuff over here.
Huh? Say you're doing a good job.
I'm doing a great job.
Oh, wow. Okay, all right. That's confidence. I like that.
Hold on.
All right, they're working on that, and this piece of steel fit absolutely perfectly in there. First try, it matches the rust, and that's how we're leaving it. I think we're just screwed into place there, and we'll start running wires. Sick.
I feel like damn good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good job, dude. Awesome. Love it. Good job.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sitting here trying to figure out how I want to wire everything. I think I'm going to use this 60 amp relay to power my fuse box. So that'll arm everything, and then I'll run everything that I need to run off of this little 6-pin fuse box. So I'm going to start pulling some wires and connecting some things and trying to make this look as pretty as I can while maintaining quickness and efficiency.
Yeah, what he's trying to say is that he's just saying that like he's gonna do it all, and then I'm gonna come in behind camera and actually do it. So
Get out! Yeah, right. Get out of here. You don't know what you're doing. Steve left me a hose clamp right there, and it looks like it went through the fire, so it's pretty safe to say that there was probably a tack sitting right here when that fire happened. Let's see if this hose clamp still does the thing. Installed. threw a wildfire, still works. We're gonna have RPM readage. All right, harness is done. Everything's pulled. We've got it all zip tied together, and I'm gonna throw some wire loom on this thing, and then we will throw the gauge cluster in and start making all of our connections. Camera died while I was installing it, so here's some fake me installing it noises. And that is how you install a gauge cluster into a burnt out Barbecuda. There's nothing more annoying than building a new engine for a car, dropping it in, and then having to wire it. So it's really nice to have that done ahead of time. One big step checked off the list.
All right, as you can see behind me, we got Ro here. He's working. We have decided that we are going to change up the whole rear end program after all that work you just watched. Now, you know that we did this whole setup with the GM 10 bolt, but we learned that it's actually
It's a Buick old Pontiac 8.2, which is fine. It's a beefier rear end than a Chevy 8.2. But I can't find a 456 gear for it, at least for cheap. They're like $500 for a ring and pinion, and that's what I need in this thing. And I don't want to spend that kind of money on a gear set for a rear end that kind of sucks. So we changed it up. Johnny's going to show you what we did.
If you're seeing that we're red, it's because we're burnt, all right? We just spent hours and hours in a junkyard, you missed it, but Ro messed up. If you give me a second, Ro, I'll help you. I'll give you a hand. But yeah, it took us 30 minutes to get what we got. For the rear end program, we ended up finding a 56 Chevy that we spent heck of time just getting a bunch of parts off of. But here's our new rear end program. It is a Ford 8.8. We got out of a late 90s Ford Explorer. I think it's gonna be beef. And we can find the ring and pinion gears that we want. And what are your thoughts, bro?
It's gonna be a good time.
But anyways, yeah, so that one's getting all the junk grinded off, and then we could do the same thing that this is on, where we get it mounted on the perches, get the right angle of the thing. It's gonna make a joke is inappropriate, and then weld that in, and then we're gonna get this on the lift, get that welded in, and then get the transmission cross member built out too. And Will is doing his own little side project over there, so ignore him. I do. Now it's time to pull this rear end out. This one's for you, AJ. It's for me and you, really. It's a little bit of satisfaction, so check it out. Damn, that's a man right there.
Right there. Yep, perfect.
Rear end is good for now until cross members in.
This is going to be super simple. I've got this piece of 1.5 inch square tube that I'm just going to put on the front side of the original transmission cross member mounting points, and I've drilled a couple of holes where we can just, this is not the bolting we're going to use, but we're just going to throw bolts right through there, and then I'll be able to come right off of this square tube and go right to the transmission, and it'll all be solid mounted. So pretty simple, quick and easy. Not much thinking into it, which is great, and not much time. There we go. Start over.
Long story short, a bunch of stuff was said. Will wasn't recording. Fail. Gas tank's out. It's not usable. Very rusty. So we're gonna vent our differential up there because that gets it away from the car so people don't smell it. Because it's probably gonna blow up. Gas tank's pretty solid. It's not bad in there. A little.
That's horrible.
It's the tar pits.
That's exactly what that looks like.
So we're not going to use that.
We'll finish the cross member, so that's in, and we can finally move on to getting the rear end where we want it, and then get it tacked in, and then removed and fully welded, and then yeah, we can measure from this point to that point and get a dry line made. Right, Will?
Yes, that's the plan.
This weekend, on my trip down from Oregon, we're going to be re-gearing this Ford 8.8 with 456 gears because we want to go fast. We bought new parts this year, so we don't have a repeat of last year. Perfect. Got a whole box of doohickeys. I'm gonna put them all in here. Not in there right now. You're not filming, are you?
Yes, I am.
Filming?
That's going in the blooper reel.
All right. We gotta get all these parts. New bearings, bolts, seals, ring gear, pinion in here so we can make it go.
While Ricky's working on the rear end over there, I've been working on mounting the fuel cell in here. So I bent up this rusty old piece of steel to mount to the floor in a couple of places, and then we're bolting it directly to the floor over here. A little 5-gallon China fuel cell. It's going to work perfectly for what we need it to do. So that's what I'm working on. We're going to get this thing bolted in, and then I'll probably start running fuel line.
We're getting there. I'm playing the shim game. My backlash right now is 4 thousandths. I need 8 to 12. So once again, I'm going to pull this back apart and play adding shims again. So once that's done, our pattern's pretty good. It's not bad, you know, not terrible. So we're gonna play shim game, and we might try and do something else. We're gonna figure that out later. What have you been doing this whole time, Will?
Let me show you. Okay, so while you've been doing the hard work, I've got my window net in and done. We've got pins everywhere so it can't fall apart. And then I just got done doing something that turned out to be more of a project than I wanted it to be. This is a swap meet Hurst quarter stick for a power glide that I bought. It did not have the pin in it to hook the shifter cable up to, so I just went and made one out of a carburetor stud, a nut that I shaved down so it was thinner in diameter, and then I tapped a little piece of 120 steel, mild steel, to fit snug in there to act as a nut to where I could thread this whole deal in. I got that together, so now we're ready to bolt the shifter in, and then I can get the shifter cable on and at least get it routed back to the trans. When we get this thing on the lift, I'll then drop the pan and get my linkage bar put into the power glide, so that'll be ready to go. My arm is not gonna fly out of the car, and really we don't even need latches. The door, it's not gonna open. It's fine. So I feel safe and secure in here, which is exactly what an HRA tech wants. All right, it is the last day of Ricky being here. He goes home today. He is almost finished up with the rear end. It's been fighting him a little bit, but he got this thing dialed in, so we're about to slam the axles back in it. He's about to slam the axles back in it. I have not been helping with the rear end project at all. What I am going to help with is the junkyard will punch holes into diff covers and transmission pans and anything that's got fluid in it. So they punch these holes through, they put these rubber plugs in there, they never work, so I'm going to weld up this hole so the thing doesn't leak and we don't have to worry about a rubber plug rotting out and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to patch that up so that by the time he's ready and all the axles are in, we can cover it up, fill it up with oil. We forgot to get that diff additive stuff that... We're dumb. All right, Ricky just found a problem. Tell me what we're dealing with here, Ricky.
I need to put the axles in, and I need to pull this center pin so I can access to get the C-clips in. I might try and not do it because we put a bigger gear in here, and we didn't think we don't do this. It's hitting pretty good.
Yeah, it's making a lot of contact.
So, on today's episode of How Messed Up is Messed Up, it's messed up.
It's pretty messed up.
This is Nightmare on Elm Street right here.
This is a big issue. All right, take it apart. Pull the ring gear off.
No. The rear end debacle. We've got axles in it now. After some precise machining on this roll center crossbend, we got it to fit past this ring gear. It's nice and tight. Now we just got to retorque the caps and we can put the rear end back in the car. Huge milestone.
Finally, dude. Took you 3 weeks.
I know. Yep. You know, can't rush perfection, and we're not going for that, so we're doing all right.
Nice. Now we'll never forget. Pretty
Last
cool.
build date. We're gonna start bending this roll bar for the Barbecuda. New bender, never been DOM before. We bought some cheap like exhaust tubing. Did a practice run, it fits pretty good. So I'm gonna try and pattern bend it. And hopefully Will's wallet doesn't get too hurt in the process.
Building the cage and using this bender has been very complicated and challenging for my friends here. I've come to save the day, and I'm teaching them how to do it, and we are going to learn off camera to not look even more like a moron than we actually are. They're going to learn while I teach them. So we're going to figure it out, and then you will see a montage of us figure it out and building it. So please enjoy it.
Shut up, John.
How about these here?
It's good for who it's for right there.
Good enough for who it's for.
Woohoo!
That was hard.
Okay, this is never coming out of the car.
No, that's gonna stay right there.
I'm gonna get my buddy out of my
Me.
waistcloth. I have my little guy.
Thanks. Put me down.
I'm gonna, it's okay.
Oh my god. Alright. Took some measurements last night and cut these out of some 2x3 rectangular tubing, and also some flat plates with a little bend in them to box these back up. But these are going to be our subframe connectors for the car. We're going to span these from the front subframe to the rear, and off of this will be an outrigger that our main hoop attaches to. So we'll weld the hoop onto that outrigger. That is going to fit right around the frame rails there, just like that. What I'm going to do is come off of here. This is nice and strong here. I'll channel the rectangular tubing out and kick it over at an angle, and that'll be our outrigger that grabs our main hoop. Maybe I'll gusset it right there. I'm ready to weld under the car. I hate welding on my back. I'm a weenie. Can't handle the sparks falling on me. So I got my old fire turnouts, these old worn out things. It's kind of fitting for the car that I'm working on too, to be wearing firefighter equipment while I'm, doing things on it. So I'm gonna crawl underneath there and buzz these things in. Here we go. Now that the subframe connectors and our outriggers for our main hoop are welded in, I can measure our main hoop and cut it down to length to where it lands right on those outriggers, and I can weld it into place.
Now that Will's got a bunch of work done on the roll bar, he still got some more. It's finally my turn to do my part. Yay me!
Big moment here. We're gonna zap the cage or zap the main hoop in. We had to finish weld everything, but we just heard a cow, and we're not supposed to hear cows right now because they're supposed to be far away from here, which means the cows are out, so we're gonna go do that now. I'm removing this package tray deal, whatever you call it, because I need to get down to where there's some structure where the subframe unibody deal comes up and over. So I just drilled out all these screws. So this looks like it's pretty loose. Let's see if there's any goodies underneath it.
If good mean more rust, then yes.
Yeah, there's lots of more stuff to put in jars to give away to folks at Duct Tape Drags. Look at that, we got nice landing pads for our back cakes. Cool, so we're just gonna weld some plates, probably cut this out, weld some plate on top of this. Call it a day, and we'll land our our bar's right there. Well, this being my first time notching tubing and bending tubing at the same time, it took me a little while to figure out. This is only a 90-degree joint right here, but I needed to move the center line of this tube down so that I could get my welder in here because we have this thing so tight to the roof skin. So after a lot of hours and a lot of researching and a lot of math and a lot of figuring out how this whole thing works, this tube fits perfectly. It is more than good enough for who it's for and the car that it's going in. We've landed on our flat plates down there, clean that surface. All this stuff needs to get welded in. I'm gonna cut the other tube out tomorrow and we'll weld everything in, and then we can start moving on to the door bars. Pretty excited. I'm getting excited now. Starting to look like a race car in here. Ricky Rowe is here and he's welding up the roll bar for me because I suck at overhead welding, I've learned. I made this, and this is gonna be our driver's side door bar. We gotta weld this plate down to the floor here, and this thing is all kinds of complicated, at least in our world. It kind of kicks into the door a little bit and then kicks back out because I realized if I went just straight from the main hoop down to the floor, then I was gonna hit my elbow on the thing if I tried to turn left. So it kind of kicks in and out and does all kinds of weird stuff, but fits pretty good. We got a little bit more work to do down there on the bottom and get this thing as close to the door as possible. So Ricky is going to grind the floor down and tack that on, and then weld this thing to that plate, and that'll conclude the driver's side at least of the roll bar, and then we'll do probably just a straight bar on the passenger side. Maybe at a later date because this is the important one right now, and if we have time we'll do that one. We are on a time crunch at this point. We're cutting it close.
Roll cage is as done as we're gonna make it. Will sanded it and clear coated it so it looks all pretty now. We are not doing a door bar on this side. It is fine for what we need it to do. Today I'm doing my favorite thing, and that's sit and watch Will do things.
And what I'm doing is tearing down this engine that I'm pretty certain we're going to be using in the Barbecuda. This is a 90s Chevy truck block. It's got a single piece rear main seal. They're all 2-bolt main. This one's 30 over. And what I'm hoping for is that this crank looks good. So far we've got one piston out of the hole and the crank looks great on that journal. So hopefully it looks good everywhere else, and I can throw some better pistons and rods in the thing and dingle ball hone it and clean it up and throw it in the car. That's the goal. So we're gonna tear it down and see what we get out of it. Shaft.
I think this is Will's first time ever removing a camshaft, so he's doing a pretty good job.
Might be my first time. This is always way easier to do when you don't have crank and pistons and rods in here. Cool. Yeah, these cam bearings look great.
I think we like this motor.
I think we like this block, yeah. We're gonna see if
That's what I
these
said.
cylinder walls
I just
will...
want to be clear, I did say block.
Yeah.
So.
Sure.
Mhm.
I think we're gonna be able to clean this thing up. We might even be able to get away with just a dingle ball hone, but I'll probably run it through with a straight stone hone just to see if we have any taper or anything going on. Cylinder walls are a little glazed and they've had a little bit of water in them at some point in time, but I think it's going to be good enough for who and what it's for. So after a bunch of digging through parts bins and thinking about things, I found the rods and pistons that we're going to use, and they're already together, which is great. This is a forged GM factory rod. These came in like Goodwrench engines. This one was manufactured in Argentina, and pretty good for a stock rod. So we're going to go ahead and use these. And then these are some used Speed Pro forged pistons, and they should work pretty good in this little 355. All right, so I've already went through and honed one cylinder, and if the rest of them look like this, we're gonna be in good shape. There was only just a slight little bit of rippling right at the top of the cylinder wall, kind of where you'd expect it, where that ring comes up and stops. So I'm gonna run through, do these other four, and then hopefully if we get lucky here, we'll get lucky on the other side, and this thing will be pretty much ready to throw together after that, a little bit of cleaning. So Johnny is going to be polishing the crank.
Says who?
Says me. While I'm going to be cleaning pistons. We're in a strange new place. My day job has turned into a night job, and I am out of town on work for a few days. But the show must go on, and we have to get this car done. So I'm in my hotel room, and that's my engine. And it's time to start assembling it. I'm only in this room for tonight, so I think all we're gonna get done is probably gap the rings, but that would be huge because, as everyone knows who's ever gapped rings, it takes forever, and I have one of those little hand cranky ring files. So that's what we're gonna do. I had the nice Bell guy bring up my entire engine, so I've got my block, my crank, and a whole bunch of parts. My pistons and rods are in here in boxes, and I think we're gonna try to get some better lighting in here so that I can see what I'm doing, and we'll try to set this engine up someplace where I can look at it and measure rings and do all that fun stuff. We are back, and this time we're not in a hotel room. We're in the back of my work van in a hotel parking lot because the room that I got is up a flight of stairs, and I'm not carrying this up the stairs, and I'm definitely not carrying it down once it has guts in it. I forgot to hit record, and I put the crankshaft in, and I cleaned the block up, and I cleaned the crankshaft up, and the crank's in there now. We're about to put the last main cap on, and then torque everything down and start dropping rods and pistons in there. So I'm sorry you missed the crank. It wasn't very exciting. We're live here on TikTok right now. Everyone else here thinks it's exciting for whatever reason. But anyways, yeah, we're going to get this torqued down and get rods and pistons and all the other stuff that's supposed to go in this thing in there. I'm attempting to pull this crank gear off of this block with this dinky little puller. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I'm doing this because we're getting ready to throw the camshaft in and degree it. And Steve Dulcich has told us to advance it, so we're gonna do that and make sure that we're not having any clearance issues. We're gonna put the cylinder head on and clay the engine to make sure everything's happy and not gonna be touching. It has come time to install the camshaft. What we're using is a Summit grind, and I'm not even going to pretend I remember what the numbers are. We're 224 on the intake, 232 on the exhaust. It's 550 thousandths lift on the intake and 540 thousandths lift on the exhaust, so pretty big for this little small block. It's cut on a 110 degree lobe separation angle, and then they've put 2 degrees advance into it. So we have some words from the wise that say to install this thing at 6 degrees advance. So I think that's what we're going to go for. Get a little bit more response on the bottom end and give some up on the top. Bam, there it is. All right, so we got our camshaft agreed in last night. We installed this thing 4 degrees advanced from the intake lobe center line, which is 110. So we're installed at 106. I have clay in the #1 cylinder here and checker springs on both valves. I'm going to torque the head down just lightly because I want to be able to reuse this composite head gasket, so we're just going to go to like 20 foot-pounds. And then we'll assemble the valve train on one side and do a clay test to make sure that we don't have any piston to valve clearance issues in there at 550 thousandths lift on the intake and 540 on the exhaust. So here we go. Clay is in the hole. I'm going to spin the engine over twice so we can get both of our valves to open and close fully. And get our impressions in. I went with the less is more technique, and I did this again. I put a smaller amount of clay in the valve relief, and I saw what I didn't want to see. We are way too tight on the piston to valve clearance. Little update, I got the cam degreed in at 106, which is 4 degrees advanced, and I measured my piston to valve clearance, and I have nothing, which I knew. So I'm now going to pull a piston out and measure the thickness of the head of it to make sure that I have enough room to bore down 80 thousandths of an inch or so and still leave about 180 left on the thickness of the head. So I'm going to pop our #2 piston out and measure that. Hopefully they're all consistent. Should measure every single one of them, but I'm not gonna. And that'll let us know if I do not have the clearance. for that, then we'll go ahead and retard the cam a couple degrees and take measurements again. And we'll keep doing that until we find what we like. All right, I measured the piston, and at my thinnest point, I'm 258 thousandths thick. I want to leave a minimum of 180, which means I have 78 thou I can bore down. Now, that is at my thinnest point, and my new valves are coming in at a different angle. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bore down 50 thou, and I'm going to recheck and remeasure. I measured at a bunch of different crank angles, ranging from 15 degrees before top dead center, I was at 172 thousandths, and then all the way at 5 degrees after top dead center, I was touching, and I was still touching at 10 degrees after top dead center. So I need some clearance in there. I'm gonna go down to 50, check it, see where we're at, and I'm shooting for 80 thousandths piston to valve clearance on the intake side. If I can't get that out of doing this, I'm gonna have to retard the timing a couple of degrees, and I should get it back after doing that. So this view here really showcases the issue I was having. The top radius of the valve relief was not where I needed it to be. You can see the old one in there. Our new circle comes up and does not even hit the back of where that old one was. So now that we have our new radius in, and our valve's actually going to be able to go down into the piston. So what I just thought about is that 50 thou was actually perfect, and it got our new radius to the bottom of where our old radius was. In fact, I can still see the old material lying on top, which means I can actually go 78 thousandths from here down, which means we should be completely in the clear for this. We should be totally fine to bore these things down to where we need them, because the valve angle is so different than whatever valve angle these were cut for. So I'm going to throw the head back on. We'll check our clearances again, and whatever we need to go from here, I'm pretty sure I'll be completely comfortable with. We are all measured up. I stopped at 10 degrees before top dead center because I'm at 135 there, and that's plenty. So my tightest number is 15 thousandths. So that's what I'm going to go off of, and we will bore down from there to give us our 80 thou. That is after another 50 thousandths down. I decided to go 50 and check it again just to make sure. I'm kind of sneaking up on it. I don't want to go too far. So that is after another 50. So I'm going to clean all that off and we'll check again. We've got 4 done. So the cam is installed 4 degrees advanced, which puts the intake center line at 106, which is exactly where we wanted it. We have our valve reliefs cut, and we have piston to valve clearance. So we have about 83 thousandths piston to intake valve clearance on all 4 holes. So I'm going to move over to this other side here. If there's any discrepancy with this deck, I want to be sure beforehand. So I'm going to take it easy on the first hole, check my piston to valve clearance as I go. Then after that, we can go ahead and knock out the other 3, and then I'll be pretty certain that they're all going to be exactly the same. After countless hours of measuring, drilling, installing the cylinder heads, taking the cylinder heads off, re-degreeing the camshaft, all of this 20, 30 times over, everything is finally right. We have our piston to valve clearance that we need. The cam is where it's going to live, and I can start assembly. So first thing I'm going to do is throw a timing cover on this thing, and then an oil pan, and get this block painted. Then I can go and clean up my cylinder heads, make sure that they are completely sanitary and ready to go, get my new spring shims installed, and we can finally put this thing together, and we are very close to making some noise now. So I'm going to get going with this assembly, and we'll see you in paint. The time has come. We're painting this thing. The color of choice, Hemi orange, of course. Because when you put a Chevy in a Mopar, you got to paint it Hemi orange. Mopar guys, will it run better now? Let me know in the comments. I'm only going to paint about halfway up the oil pan because I still have a little bit of metal work to do on this thing to make it fit in the car. And I found out that timing cover is wrong. So that's being used as tape right now, and then we'll throw a different one on there tomorrow. But first coat of Hemi orange is going down on the small block Chevy.
The Chevy's like, I know I'm supposed to be orange, but
Something don't feel right.
feels a little off right now.
The gasket match is key to a quality paint job. All right, first coat down, let's go to bed. Got a Hemi orange Chevy small block. I already peeled a little bit of the tape off when I was moving it over here, but let's peel the rest and then finally get heads on this thing permanently. To bump my compression ratio up and get my quench a little bit more where we wanted it, because we're about 25 to 27 thou in the hole on every cylinder. And I wanted to bring that quench up just a little bit, but 28 thousandths is gonna get us right where we wanna be, at least close to it. And these cylinder heads are gonna be good. So here we go. Bam. The cylinder heads are on, they're torqued, they're done, they're not coming off again. That feels good. The time has finally come. We are putting on the cake topper. This will be a temporary one because I want to go with a tunnel ram on this thing in the end, but for simplicity, we're going to run this big single plane, single carburetor deal on it for the fire up and to make sure everything doesn't leak and everything like that, just so we're not messing around with two carburetors while we're figuring out everything else on the engine. So I'm going to slam this thing on there, throw some valve covers on it, and we'll be ready to drop this thing in the car. I can't believe I just said that. There's the squish I was wanting. Now it looks like an engine. So we're having a little bit of a problem where when I first installed our mock-up engine, I didn't have a gasket on the pan, and I set this thing real close to the center link and without accounting for the gasket thickness. So now we're a good 1/4 inch too high before we can land on our mounts. And I don't know how much I'm going to be able to clearance out of this oil pan with the oil pump being right there. So we're figuring out where we want to go from here. Do we change the mounts? Do we try to go for it with the oil pan? We're brainstorming here. But it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit like it did. So we're back to square one on putting a small block Chevy in a A-body Mopar. Let's go up there and get some measurements of where that oil pump pickup actually sits. Because our notch is going to be right on this casting line of the oil pump and clearing the pickup tube. So essentially, if our pan is sitting here, we just need to clearance here, which will clear our oil pump still.
We're currently getting the motor back in. Another test fit. Will has cut a pretty big notch out of the oil pan. So now we're putting it in there to see if that notch clears everything.
Good?
Yeah, John, can you lower the jack?
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go.
Yep.
They're dying.
Can I pull the jack out or is it here?
Yeah, you can pull it out.
Good? What happened? What, did the car land on you?
It came down. It came lower than expected.
Oh, here's...
It was just crushing. The pinch weld was just sitting right here. I was like,
Our notch looks a little crooked with that center link, but we have clearance with that notch there, so we just need to fill that sheet metal back in, and then we are gonna be hitting
right in here.
Right there, so we're gonna have to put a little bit of clearance on the side of the pan there for that, but I think we're gonna be in good shape once we fill in that sheet metal. We should be just fine. Ro and I got...
And Johnny
didn't help with this part. We got our oil pan clearance done, welded. We're gonna go fill it up with water and make sure it doesn't leak anywhere.
oh, we're leaking.
Are we?
Yep.
Oh, yep, sure enough.
I got it.
Hey! Oh!
You hear the gas?
Yeah, I'm out of gas. Wonderful.
After several times of this being in and out, and then slightly modifying the oil pan, Will just did, we're hoping is the last notch, so we are going to get it bolted in where it's going to sit, and we're going to check and see if it's finally fitting and clearing.
Right there.
Just clearancing this oil pan 20 times over. making a plate right now to patch this last hole that I did here. We're just hacking and cutting and patching until the oil pan fits and we can steer the car.
So this is not from a rod knock?
No.
Oh.
No, those would be outward dents. Those will come later. We'll make those later.
Okay.
Oil pan's on. Now that our oil pan is clearanced and we're ready to hopefully drop the engine in for the last time, I'm going to throw our torque converter in the transmission. Again, we're running a 2-speed Power Glide, and this is a Power Glide splined 3000 stall converter. It's advertised as a 3000 stall converter, but I'm anticipating it stalling at a higher RPM than that because this thing had a whole bunch of bad reviews on it and everyone was saying it was stalling at like 3500 RPM, which in my case is better. I wanted an even higher stall torque converter, but I couldn't find anything higher than this for the stock Power Glide splines, and I didn't want to go to a Turbo 350 spline on the thing just for a time, money thing. It's a cold, rainy day, and it is a cold, rainy day 14 days before this car needs to be running and driving and ready to hit the drag strip in Tucson. We're cutting it close. We've had some other projects we've been working on at the same time. This is our list. This is our revised list of everything that has to happen before we leave for Tucson in 2 weeks. So I'm getting an early start today, and we're gonna just try to slam out as much of this as we possibly can. But it's crunch time, so here we go. First thing I'm gonna tackle is getting these headers mounted or at least mocked up. We've decided that we're gonna use these stainless shorties, and we're going to turn them up like this. We don't need to do this on this side of the engine, but on the other side we do because the steering box is just way too close, and getting something down there is going to be an absolute pain. So these are going to kind of dictate where a whole bunch of stuff goes, where my wiring lands, where my battery is going to live, everything like that. So it's going to look a little bit ridiculous with them kind of flipping around and doing U-turns, but it is what it is. We put a small block Chevy in an A-body Mopar and it doesn't fit that good. Who would have thunk? Go figure. So this is our problem side. As you can see, we've got very, very little room in between that steering column and the cylinder head. So this guy is just going to sit right there. Boom. That's where those are going to live. I don't hate that. They're not quite symmetrical, but finding a pair of headers that are is difficult. Looks different, but these headers are kind of perfect because they kick out already, so that's going to help our U-turn going into our fender wells. So that's going to be just about perfect. I might have some clearance issues with an alternator there. We'll figure that out. I might have to move the alternator to somewhere else. If I can get it down low, maybe that's what I'll do. Although I have a fuel pump going there. This is the stuff we need to figure out here. So those are just going to live on there and be in my way for a while, so I can get everything kind of mocked up and figure out where I want stuff to go. I realized that all the alternator brackets that I have put the alternator over here, and that's probably going to be right in the way of the exhaust. So I ordered a kit that mounts the alternator way down low on the driver's side. So I'm going to stray away from that for a second. The engine bay is looking pretty good. I've got my pigtail here for the distributor done that can plug right in, and I ran some wire loom with my headlight wire and my fan power wire up to the front of the car. That's ran clean. Ignition coils installed and wired. We have our coolant temperature sensor done. Our oil pressure gauge is hooked up and done. So I think I'm going to jack up the car now, throw a starter up in this thing, and get those wires landed. I'm not going to put a battery in the thing until we get our exhaust done, because that side might be a problem where the stock battery tray is. I might have to move the battery tray to down low over here to clear it from the exhaust, because we don't want any battery melting issues. Bam! A little shiny, but that's alright. Looks like a fan shroud to me. We are on to the exhaust portion of this project. Ricky Rowe is back in town, and he welded on or tacked on these V-band clamps onto these headers. So we cut the 3-bolt flanges off because they're kind of ugly. We got some V-bands that are going on there. So these are a bunch of test pieces that we have, and what we're thinking, something like this. And then a 45 that runs up underneath the inner fender well here, kicks back and dumps down behind the tire. It's kind of the idea. So we're going to be test fitting and figuring and then trying to kind of match them as close as we can to each other. The headers are a little bit different, so it's not going to be perfect. It's going to look kind of wild, and we'll be ready for turbos if that ever wants to happen. This is awesome. Check out our mock-up.
Loud, right in our ears.
Right in our ears.
Fumes in the mouth.
Technically, it's in your feet.
Yeah. First pipe was the easy one. Trying to make that one match somewhat that's the hard part. These headers are both different, so both pipes are going to be completely different. But we want to try to make them look at least similar in angle under the hood, so we got some symmetry to the program here. Even though it doesn't look like it, we've made a ton of progress. The exhaust is hanging up over there. We just painted it so it doesn't rust because we didn't make it out of stainless. It's part stainless. Anyways, distributor is in. Our plug wires are all set up to where they are going to be going. Got a few more wiring things done. Our buddy Nick got the shifter cable installed. We just got to adjust the thing, so that's great. Ricky's been out back working on rear shock mounts because we didn't have those with the 8.8 Ford.
I've done a heck of stuff.
Johnny made a parts run.
I've also been working on my own car, so
he's been over there working on the 55. And I just got my alternator bracket in, so I'm going to install that. The alternator is going to be mounted really low on the driver's side here to get it out of the way of our exhaust that needed to, you know, come stick up out of the car. And hopefully that solves all of our problems. We're starting to be able to see the light here. Another thing we're running in this car is a wideband O2 sensor and an air-fuel ratio gauge. So there's a bung already built into these headers. I think these headers are for a late model Silverado, like an OBS, something from the 90s. And they had O2 sensors from the factory. So we're just going to use this bung. It's a little close to the head with these short little headers, but I don't know how accurate my readings are going to be, but they'll be a whole lot better than no readings at all.
That's how they go in, dog. I'm telling you, I built them.
As long as the top doesn't get scratched, we're good.
How good does that look?
They look sick.
I wanted to drill a hole right here and put in a thermometer from a barbecue, but Will said no. So if the fans want it, just know that Will is mean. Just so you guys know, if you don't like, comment, and subscribe and blow this video up, we're never doing this again. So it's up to you.
Yeah,
if you want this more content, you better buck up, bucko. Because we're sick of your shit. These last videos have been we've been working our butts off. Okay? Yeah, I'm going to come down there and kick your ass. Don't laugh, Will. Right. Sorry I got angry with you guys. Sometimes I
you should be able to let go now.
Sometimes I just get frustrated. That thing looks wicked, bro. What do you guys think? Tell us. Link it down below.
Link it down.
Shut up! I don't know what it's called. Okay.
Everyone's at, like gonna like for a split second be like turbos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we want to say all day. What do you guys think this thing's gonna run?
Yeah. What do you think it's gonna run?
Poorly.
All right.
It's gonna pull a wheelie. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And another thing, leave it down in the comments. Me and Will are talking about putting some little grates right here for grilling hot dogs at the show. What do you think?
What do you think? Worth it?
Let us know. We're willing to sacrifice the beauty that we have here to get some hot dogs.
That we have created.
We want paint fumed hot dogs, all right? Paint smoked hot dogs.
Dude, there ain't nothing like it.
We're gonna call it for the night. We're looking at our list. We got...
I did that. I did that. I did that.
I don't think Johnny's checked anything off the list. He's been busy on his 55 over there. But Ro and I and our buddy Nick have checked a whole bunch of things off the list. We're getting there, everybody. So this nifty little bracket here should solve most of our problems there. It hangs the alternator way down low, out of our way. I like that we're not really even gonna be able to see it. Pretty excited for that.
It's like the hidden turbos.
Yeah, exactly. Which everyone's gonna think we have on this car.
This is the turbo.
That's a turbo.
Oh yeah, that's just right to the water pump.
Right. And then you loop this back around to that, and that's where your horsepower comes from? Is that how that works?
I think that's about right.
We've just hit our next snag. The alternator is not gonna fit down there because it's hitting the frame in like 3 places. So we're gonna have to modify this bracket. I'm just gonna cut this round part that has the slot in it for the adjustment, cut it off of here, weld it onto more over here so that this alternator can swing out and live there. So pretty far off the motor, but still low, out of our way, and not too bad of a modification. So what do we say, Ricky?
That's hot rodding. That's literally a hot rod.
It's the name of the game. Make it work.
We're putting the carburetor on. It's a glorious day.
Damn!
Yeah.
Damn!
She on there.
Taking a phone call, but obviously he's putting on the carburetor. We're getting a bunch of little things done. I'm getting the battery tray mounted as best I can, but my fabrication looks like a 5-year-old trying to color. Ro's already done a bunch of little things like oil dipstick, oil filter. He filled up the rear diff. He's about halfway done getting the rear shocks mounted. It's time just to do a million little things. Our minds are just shot right now. We forget that we make videos and you're supposed to film things.
We didn't do a whole lot.
We didn't do a whole lot, but we got some stuff. We got temporary throttle linkage, but it's not linked because we learned the old cable is not great, so we're gonna replace that. But this fancy thing is in for now.
I ended up having to completely redo the alternator bracket again because it didn't work. So this is what we came up with, and that works great. So that is done and installed. Johnny's been installing an AFR gauge. So we've got our O2 sensor coming out of our header here.
It's in. I got the wire sent through a grommeted hole that I drilled myself. Well, did not drill that for me. And then the AFR gauge is right here. Let me shine a light on that for you real quick. See? Pretty. Fuel lines with AN fittings made up. Don't look how ugly this is right now. This is set for one of the tunnel rams. So this right here is going to come to right there. And then tee up to
the tunnel ram. Oil plug is done. That's great. Our breather comes in tomorrow. I'm gonna put the oil catch can on while Johnny's working on his battery tray.
We also bought a new throttle cable,
Yes.
and we
I was
were smart.
talking. Get out of my way. I was saying things.
All right. Well, I was saying things too. I don't care.
We got 2 in case we mess one up. To finish what he was saying, because he just so rudely interrupted me. Anyways, I'm gonna put the oil.
And I
catch
also
can.
am gonna.
I'm gonna throw something at you. I'm also going to run our battery cables, so that should be pretty quick and easy. We're gonna go one ground cable to the block, and then we have a bunch of other grounds coming off of that. And I got to route a positive cable down and around the engine to the starter, so that should be pretty quick and easy too. Get the alternator wired in, and our wiring will pretty much be complete after that. I got to land a couple of grounds inside, wire the taillight, and we'll be done on the electrical side of things, which is a great feeling because it's always a long and strenuous process. Johnny's cooking up a little battery tray for us. This is...
You ever sneeze and just like make your like whole arm hurt?
No, that's just you.
That's my brother too.
Drop it. You guys are weird. Drop it in the comments if that happens to you.
It's a nerve thing, I guess. I think Jasper Googled it one day.
You got weird nerves.
They get on my last one.
Yeah.
Tell you what.
Power cable. Got this super cheap, like aluminized stuff that's not completely ideal and conductive. Pulled it out of the rainforest. It was cheap. We're gonna use it. It has this like transparent insulation on it. Looks like a giant speaker wire.
It is speaker wire.
It's a speaker wire, but I'm gonna use it. It's gonna work for what I need it to do. And it was cheap, which is what we're going for, because this has turned into being less cheap than we originally were expecting it to be, as things do, you know. But still, we did this a lot cheaper given the power that we're going to make than we could have with a Mopar, given the parts that we already had on hand. We had a lot of this stuff on hand. We had to buy a good amount of it, but a lot of it was already on hand. We're gonna be making some horsepower. We're gonna be going fast, and down the track, you're not gonna be able to tell what's under the hood of it. You will be able to tell what's out of the hood, though, which I like. This little tool is well worth the investment if you're doing this often like we are. I think this thing was like less than 50 bucks. I've had it for years. It's been great. It makes perfect ends every time. So here's a little tip on how I do it, and I love it, and I'm never changing as long as this thing still works. I think I finally found the upper radiator hose that's gonna work for the car after perusing the O'Reilly aisle forever. This thing's not perfect, but I think it's gonna get us down the track. Boom. Perfection. Not even kinking at all. Awesome. Huge win. Just whipped up a battery hold down real quick. Got some long coupling nuts welded on to the tray on both sides, and a piece of aluminum with a couple of holes drilled in it. Some all thread that comes up all the way through, and I even took some rubber fuel line and went around the all thread there so that if my terminals are to move, they're not going to ground out on that rod there. All right, we're going to go with some 1540 high quality diesel oil in this thing. That's what we have, and it's going to run just fine. And away we go. I'm going to oil this plug here because this thing is snug. Distilled water going in. The Barbecuda is full of oil and full for now of water.
Yeah, that's water, guys.
It's distilled. Doug's here helping tonight, and we're working on the transmission cooler lines now. So what I ended up doing is I ran steel all the way from the radiator back to the starter, and I have these pretty trick little compression couplings that go to a -6 AN thread, and I have the same steel poking out of here. I'm going to bridge this gap with braided line so that if I need to remove the transmission, I don't have to mess around with removing the cooler lines from up there and bending up the steel and it not going back in properly. I can just pop the braid there, and I don't have to run the whole thing in braid, which saves money. So that's what we're doing. We're making our final connections here. We actually were able to luck out, and we found these lines in the braid box, and they were done already. They had the fittings that we needed. They look all right. We're a little crossed up there, but that's okay. All right, with that, we can call our transmission cooler lines done. Let's check it off the list. We're gonna get this thing off the lift, back in the shop, and get ready for our first fire up.
That's me.
That was the most old man thing I have ever seen you do. Oh, Johnny, leave that in the video. He just turned the camera on with it facing him right in his face. We're gonna get the distributor out and prime the engine. We gotta fill up the transmission. Even though we're not driving it, I don't want that converter spinning around with a dry transmission. That's why we just got those cooler lines done, but we're not planning on driving it right now. Here we go. Johnny is inside the car on the oil pressure gauge. And the drill says we're done, so that means we're done. Engine's primed. Nylon hose stuffed into a funnel. We don't have a dipstick tube yet. That comes in tomorrow. So we're gonna shove this down into the transmission, fill it up, get a good amount of fluid in there, and then plug it with a rubber plug so we can fire this thing up. It's not spewing transmission fluid everywhere, and our pump is not sitting there running dry. So I've got the distributor back in the engine. We're primed, our transmission's filled, at least filled enough for now. Johnny is actually running to town right now because we have everything tonight except for gas. So he's gonna go grab some gas for the thing. We have power and ground connected, and the car is not on fire again. I'm gonna go flip some switches, I suppose, and we're finally gonna watch this car do something for the first time. Okay, main power on, ignition on. Oh, none of this is gonna work because I don't have fuses in the fuse box. Alright, there's now fuses in the fuse block. Main power, we got gauge lights, we have AFR, ignition. We won't know if that's on until we're running. We have cooling fan.
The car's alive!
And I need to loosen up those bolts a little bit. And go to the front of the car, Doug.
Is that a headlight right there? Nice.
The Barbecuda.
She lives.
She lives. I guess I can do this. Ready? Cool. All right, starter works. Johnny's back. We have gasoline.
It is 1:09 in the morning, and it is time to do the thing.
The time has finally come. We're gonna try to bark this thing off. Doug is inside pushing buttons. I'm gonna be here working the throttle and moving the distributor around. And we don't have a throttle cable yet, so all of our throttle action is gonna be from right here. Main ignition on. Running a mechanical fuel pump on this engine, and it's not pulled fuel yet, so I'm going to try to fill up a float bowl, and I'm gonna spill gas everywhere. We're just gonna do that. We'll let it bark, if it'll bark. Go for it. Go ahead. All right, we need to test for spark because I don't know if any of that MSD stuff works. Do we have a spark plug anywhere? All right, hold on. We got a fuel leak right here, and I got no spark. After a bunch of troubleshooting and swapping out different parts, I now have the distributor that came out of my Chevelle, which is a mechanical advanced MSD magnetic pickup deal. Which I know works. We've got a different coil in there, even though I believe that that one is good, because I learned that our MSD box is not working. So, one marketplace MSD box to another. We have a 6AL2, which is great because we'll have a two-step. Got a killer deal on marketplace for this thing. And I did this trick little mount on the glove box door that can hide that thing away and keep it out of the weather, because this car is not going to have windows, and if it lives outside, I figure under the dash is a safer place than hanging off the front of the dash. So I'm going to get this thing wired in, and we'll try the fire up again. Let's try.
You want?
There it goes. Now we got a little bit of fire. Something.
Tranny works.
Maybe.
Running rich.
This thing is solid mounted, tell you what.
Yeah.
Is the tranny in park?
Huh?
Or is that just, it's got so much torque, it's twisting the chassis?
Twisting
when
the
you rev it?
chassis.
Watch that water. I just want to make sure it doesn't get too hot.
Yeah, it's way rich right now.
We're about to lose this gasket.
Yeah.
On that side. This gauge needs to be tightened down, and we need to reverse the polarity on that fan.
Yeah.
Things to do, but this is what we needed. We needed the run to know that it needed.
It runs.
It runs good, dude.
Thing rips, dude.
Oh my god, I feel so much better right now.
Everything.
This thing sounds gnarly, dude.
It sounds. It's not even that. I mean, we're all talking really loud right now, but
it's not that loud. I had to.
It's not that loud. I can hear everything perfectly.
Tinnitus. What is that? It does sound good. It's got a very beautiful example.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one thing, and it's gonna be the most annoying thing about this is like when we're like checking or adjusting things at the track.
Yeah.
The heat from this exhaust sucks, bro. I'm already sweating. I want to get my sweatshirt off. You know, I don't think Bro even wanted to change the wires. I think he loves saying reverse the polarity. I think he loves saying that.
I do. It's my favorite thing. You gotta reverse it, bro.
You got a little quiet on your response, so I think that was
nail on the head. Ding!
Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Hey, the car runs.
The car runs.
It's been a long, strange trip with the Barbecuda.
Yeah. All right, let's fire it again, yeah?
Yeah.
It's leaking.
Yeah, that's what I was pointing at earlier.
Yep. It's got oil pressure.
Yeah, we're starting to puke up here too.
Yeah.
Now it's time for all the little things.
So we got the car fired up. We got some oil leaks to fix. While it's on the lift, I'm gonna tackle, I got this one mocked up for height. I gotta do this side, but right now I just gotta get shock measurements so we can go to the auto parts store again. And once I'm done with this, and out of Johnny's way, he's gonna put the slapper bars on. And we might drive the car today.
You see, it comes down too far, so we're clearing this, and then our slapper bars will clear that and fit over it, and then it'll be perfect. And I'm thinking so because this side is already done. So we cut that, and it sits perfectly on that, dude. Hell yeah, it's way better than on the 55. The 55 had way too much space, and we had to we put like that much of a spacer on there to get it closer, and it still was way too far. So we are dialed in. We're gonna get this side to look like that one, and we are moving on. Now, no one breathe on this. It is ready for the first test drive. Everything's been buttoned up. Rear end stuff's buttoned up. Good enough for who it's for, I'll tell you what. But we're just gonna get it to idle, operating temperature, fill up the trans fluid. We're not gonna film that, but the next thing you see is our first test drive in the Barbecuda.
First attempted test drive.
That's what I said. Yeah. He's putting it in gear for the first time. We'll see if this transmission works. We have no idea. It's 50-50 shot, he said. The Barbecuda lives! The Barbecuda runs and drives, baby!
Let's go! Let's go for a test drive.
the belt. Something's burning.
Something's burning.
It got on it. It started smoking.
We made it so far.
Oh, it's doing
That
okay.
was awful, bro. I just got a mouthful of.
Yeah, it's just getting loose again.
Okay.
But it's on.
This is okay. Guys, we're driving the Barbecuda.
I feel like a 5-year-old in here.
It drives really well. Oh, damn. This thing rips.
I'm getting sandblasted.
Me too. But I love it.
Oh, our tires aren't rubbing.
Are they?
They're smoking.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
I wonder if it'd be any different without me in the back.
Probably. I think it's the tires we're smelling.
Yeah.
Well, even when it was tight, when you womp on it, it just goes wobble wobble.
Let's do it to where me and Rose stays here. You go up, come back down. Let's see if it rubs anymore.
All right.
It's not rubbing at all. It's just Will in the car.
Yeah, I think between us, it's
Yeah, it's just
600
crew.
6, almost 700 pounds. Why is it rubbing?
I don't know why.
There's so much rust coming off of that. I was like, it's leaking.
Getting hot. This is the fastest car I've ever driven.
Yeah.
This thing is a rocket ship.
Oh, dude, it sounds so good going by.
So it's a little warm. We're just coasting down with the fan running. Got a little line of people because we just stopped in the middle of the road. But it's fine.
Running already, it's not that good.
It looks so good going by.
Does it?
Wait till you see the video, dude.
Oh, it's so much fun. It is so quick, dude. This thing just, whoa, okay, let's go. Here we
It
go.
sounds like a rocket ship.
It
coming
feels
out.
like a rocket ship, and it's also really scary. I mean, it drives great, actually. It's remarkably easy to drive.
How's the rear end feel?
The rear end feels great.
Good.
This is the fastest car I think I've ever driven. It is a rocket ship. The transmission works perfect. The thing rips.
It's settled.
It runs great.
I can't wait to not drive it.
It actually drives good. Like it drives
Johnny
great.
has a good one.
We
hit it
totally
and
won.
Johnny's
Let's
good.
finish this thing up.
So when you were driving,
Everyone's
I was
stopping,
like, oh my
thumbs
God,
up.
is it leaking? And I realized it looks like water spraying out of everywhere, but it's rust going out of under it. It was actually wild to see. Because it was all sparkly. It looks like it just water's flinging everywhere.
Dude, these guys got out and we went, I made a full throttle pull or two and it rips. I am cutting up old Barbecuda sheet metal that we pulled out of the floor here, and I made this. This is our rear firewall. Because our fuel cell is mounted in the trunk, we need to have a firewall to be NHRA legal, and really you just want one anyways. You don't want all those fumes coming up into the cabin area. So making a couple of little patch panels to live here, and got to make one down for the spare tire well. And our trunk will be sealed up hermetically with rusty old Barbecuda sheet metal. We leave in hours from now. 10, I think, to be exact, maybe 11. We're probably going to be pulling an all-nighter on this thing because we still have a bunch of little odds and ends to do. Some of it not so exciting, so we're going to hammer this thing out, get it done, so we can put this thing on the trailer some wee hour of the morning, and...
Hold on. These cats are just, I don't know if you can see them. One just jumped out and got another one up there. They just, anything that we move to a new spot, they're like, we gotta re-investigate it.
What's going on? That's Goop over there. He's checking out the truck. So anyways, not much time to go. Let's get this car finished up, loaded on the trailer so we can head to Duct Tape Drags. So there's a trend with the Barbecuda. Do something and then undo it and do it again. It's happened on pretty much everything on this car so far. The next thing that we're doing again is the door latch on the driver's side. And I don't know if I have to, but I want to cover all my bases. I don't think that the gate latch is going to pass tech inspection. And the reason I say that is because you can only open the door from the inside of the car. You can reach in, but on the driver's side, in order to do that, you have to drop the window net and then reach in, and that just takes too much time. So I got this factory style spring-loaded latch that I'm gonna weld onto the door, onto the plate that's already there, and I'll have a striker that comes off of the roll bar, which I know tech inspection is really gonna like because the roll bar is the sturdiest part of this entire car.
You don't know we're talking about the gate latch? I'll show you B-roll right now as I'm talking. I had lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of hours to edit through on the first video. That part of the video didn't make it in. So these were the latches we went for in the first place. So, redoing that.
All done.
Close the door for the people. Let them see it work.
Bam. Latched. Unlatched.
We saved this portion, the windshield, for almost last because we know how we are and how things happen around us, and we didn't want it to go all scratched up and looking terrible right away. That can be after. As long as this lasts the next couple of days while we race, after it's fine. Whatever happens, it happens. So now, I bought a bunch of this poster paper from the local craft store, and I'm just going to tape a bunch of it together to make a template. And I got this because it's a little bit more manageable and malleable to kind of put where I need it and feel my creases. And yeah, I'm going to make a cool little taped template. Instead of forcing you all to watch it, here it is. It's kind of done. So the rivets we had are not long enough. And we're thinking that we're leaving in like 4 hours. We're staying up all night and our buddies are driving the first leg of the drive and we're gonna sleep. But anyways, we had the wrong rivets. We're supposed to meet at 6:30 a.m. We're thinking that Home Depot opens at 5. So we might just go there at 5 a.m., get rivets, do the rivets in the parking lot, and then meet up with our convoy. By the way, there is so much time between the first slap and this one. That was very challenging. It's my first time doing it, and yeah, that was something else, I'll tell you what. Loaded and in town, ready to go. I don't know why I said Home Depot. We're going to our local Ace. We're gonna get some rivets. 55 is here too, look how pretty she is. But that's not this video, so don't get too caught up on that. Time to buy some rivets and put these in, and then hit the road where Will and I get to sleep for 3 or 4 hours because we didn't sleep last night. NHRA wants them between 2 and 3 inches apart, so we got to do one every 2 to 3 inches all around the perimeter.
How many just to get us on the road and then do the rest?
Not that many.
We need the corners.
Just enough to get.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we should just cut to us driving this somewhere cool. So here you go.
Trailer. This thing is a rocket ship, dude. It is terrifying. It actually drives really well. but man, is it loud. And it just moves out immediately. It's hard to tell how fast I'm going because everything's rattling and it's loud and I can't hear or think or really do anything but hold on. But man, is it fun. It chucked the belt a minute ago, so we put it back on the trailer and we're gonna keep on our way and figure out why that happened. It was probably just spinning at 7,000 RPM and the belt not having it. But great second test drive, I'd say. We put it back on the trailer and it's not blown up.
Turns out if you get here the day early, tech is open today. So theoretically, we could have teched. Now, 55, you'll see in that video that it got teched already. Did it pass it? Not, I don't know. You'll find out. But
we might make it to tech today. I'm gonna try to just get everything tech related done and get this thing in here. We have about an hour and a half left of tech being open. So I'm gonna get the windshield riveted in and get a neutral safety switch in this thing. I think I'm gonna go try to tech. We'll see what happens. So I got the neutral safety switch wired up, and now I'm realizing that there's a weld that welds this shaft for the neutral safety switch that goes onto this arm here, and that weld broke. So now we're gonna dig the welder out and redo that weld before my neutral safety switch will work. I guess we can still test it out. Right now we should work. Maybe not. No, I guess not.
icing on the cake. Neutral safety switch itself is bad.
Didn't check it, should have checked it. Gonna try to get it apart here and fix it. If not, I'm gonna figure out something else.
Today has been rough. Like today getting here, every inch of the way has been an issue. Just like it's been a representation of the whole build.
I've got the switch apart and I'm just trying to clean up some contact terminals in here to see if I can make anything work. I'll let you know how that goes. So after further looking at this, I realized there's a third pin that I didn't know about. One of them is for like a dummy light and the other one is the actual neutral safety. And the other one is where power comes in, and I had it hooked up wrong. So I think this switch has worked the whole time. So I'm putting it back together. And we're gonna hook it up and we should hopefully have a neutral safety switch.
Generator, welder, zip zap to get that back. Will got the neutral safety switch working. Put it all back together, that works. So we just need to zap that, neutral safety switch is done. Run a wire for that tail light and then figure out whatever else that they're gonna try to call us on for tech. We'll see.
Just one little tack is all I'm gonna need. That'll do it.
To be able to go down the track at night, we need one working headlight, one working tail light. Now, I have a simple universal little tail light bezel thingy.
Tail light socket.
I have a simple little universal tail light socket. Now, the hole for this one's much bigger, so I thought, what better place to use this stuff than at duct tape drags? It's in there, it's done.
Final little clean before we go to tech inspection.
It's tech time, baby. We put a lot of work and a lot of effort for this moment. I'm really breaking a sweat here for the guys, all right? I'm doing the hard stuff, so they don't have to.
My boys TC Fines over there.
Yeah, TC Fines, he made it.
How are you? It's fun. Brought her back to life. Yeah. Isn't that neat? Yeah. You know, my friend.
Neutral safety works.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The normal, just like you always do. Very cool.
We tried really hard to follow the rules because it looks the way that it does. You know,
Looks good.
perfect. I love it. So it doesn't ruin your pen. There you go.
It's the first time this car's been painted in years.
Yeah. You guys have fun. Wonderful. Thank you much. Enjoy. Good to see you. Thank you. You too. We'll see you next time. Enjoy. We passed. We did it. Let's go racing. Yeah. I'm replacing parts. We haven't even used our car yet. My 50-year-old, or however old that is, tachometer did not work, so I've got a cheap one from the parts store that we're gonna throw in, and I'm counting on it to work because I need to know where we're at. Every RPM sounds the same, So I want to know, you know, when the danger zone happens, and then set the rev limiter to that. Doesn't work.
Like, for a part of me, like, freaked out there for a second.
That was an 8,000 RPM. What I discovered about the tach is I think the MSD box is not sending the correct or an accurate signal to the tach, but it is recognizing RPM, so the two-step and the rev limiter are working.
Gotcha.
So both the two-step adjustment and the up top rev limiter is working.
So you could just set those and you won't have to worry
Then I don't
about...
need the tach.
Yeah.
I just I don't know when I'm going to be shifting, but I can try to
guess as best as
guess,
possible.
you know.
It's
So-
screaming, send it, you know.
Right. When it sounds like the rods are about to rattle out of the thing, shift.
Over here we have Ricky and Doug. As we've been saying, I think we only mentioned a couple times, the current configuration is not what we want. We want tunnel ram, dual carbs. We bought 2 brand new carburetors just for this platform. But there's this brass fitting in here, or plug, or whatever it was, and it is seized in there, and this might be the make or break. We kind of just had the notion in our head that at least it runs now the way it is, so if we have to run it like that, we will. But this is the plan, so we're working on it right now. Let's see if Bro can get this out, and we can move forward with this plan.
Will broke the intake.
Hold on. How come when I do something, you guys take credit for it, but then when you do something, you blame it on me when it's bad?
I broke the intake. I put a little too much juice on her, and I cracked it. But the thing's gonna come out now.
Yeah.
We just need to Zeus that back together.
So we don't have the means to weld aluminum here today.
My disappointment level was up to here with you. Oh my God.
Stop looking at it, John. Go get me a coffee, Johnny.
Just a really cool vintage intake, that's all. No big deal. The car runs and drives right now. We're gonna run it and drive it.
I messed up, guys. I'm grounded.
Bro's grounded.
I'm not allowed to use power tools or crescent wrenches anymore. Victory lap!
We're gonna take a victory lap around the pit. Now that we have a cooling system.
Smell the belt.
I don't.
Unless it's the tires I'm smelling.
Oil, I think. There's the diesel Camino.
Well, everyone's lining up. Look at this. Everyone's already lining up. Supposed to line up, but tell them what happened, Rob.
Well, Will made me get in the car, and my foot hit this beautiful white wire, which pulled the wire out of the fuse block that killed the car. So once again, I broke something again. So I think I'm done for the day. I don't even want to install this vacuum gauge we need to install. Or vacuum line, I should say.
Yes, you should.
Heck, fuel, let's go race.
He should be almost standard full.
The hood of this car.
We fixed it. I didn't record, but it fired up, so it fixed it.
The line for the lanes is really long. There's a lot of cars here, so we're gonna hold out for a little while. The car is sitting over with the other Motor Trend cars right now, and we're just gonna wait it out a little bit, watch a little bit of drag racing. Johnny's running his Tri-5 thing, and we'll run a little bit later. We run till 11 o'clock, so we got time.
We're gonna hit that 8th mile, 9.0 and 9.3, 81 and 80. Gonna hit that quarter in 13.6 and 14.2, 107 and 99 in the mile per hour.
We might only get one pass.
This might be it. This
Give her
might be the only one for tonight. I'm gonna give her the beans.
Yeah, give her the beans. Damn! 13.2, bro. Oh my God, bro. That's crazy, bro. Will, I'm so proud of you, dude. God damn.
Well, it survived.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go, dude!
Yeah!
That's what I'm talking about, bro.
What's up,
So
dude?
much life left in this car.
Dude, that thing ripped.
Dude, you were gone, bro.
Yeah, it left. It left hard. Dude, where's my time slip?
Bro,
It's okay. That's how fast you. That's how fast you.
187 to the 60 foot, dude. This thing left.
at the 60 foot 187?
187 to the 60.
Jesus,
This
dude.
thing,
We're getting better, dude.
this thing left, dude. That was awesome. I forgot to close my visor on my helmet, and I regret that.
You didn't, bro, when he burnt out, he came and swept a little bit, but I was watching under it.
Nice.
Like nothing came out.
Dude,
Dude,
dude.
dude, sick, dude.
1324. 1324 at 101.
You know that means a chocolate happy here.
I mean,
Good job, dude.
woo!
All
It is.
the hours and late nights, bro, got us at 13-2, I'll tell you what.
Where's that guy? He's
This
partying
thing
somewhere?
left hard. Dude, it, boom, I'm gone.
That's really 14.
That was,
It looked really
it hooked, dude. Did I spin both?
Yeah.
Nice. Trap lock's working.
Fat burnout.
Yeah, was it?
Fat burnout.
I wanted to do that. I just, whatever. We're just gonna let it rip.
That's the fastest you've
It's-
ever been, right?
That's fast. I've been at, yeah, down at Dragstrip. Yeah.
Top speed 101.
101. We're about to make the second pass in the Barbecuda. Daylight this time. We'll see how she does. We ran a 1324 last night, and I'm hoping we can sneak a 12 out of it. Here we go. I think I might have lost the belt. I'm gonna pull over here. The temperature started rising really quickly and I heard something slapping around. Might have lost the belt on that one. Call in the crew.
We're getting her back to the pits. We're gonna get her fixed up, tighten that header down because it came loose and through a belt, put that back on, and I suppose we're just gonna run her again. Just keep going and see what it does.
The boys are pulling me back to the pits with the truck. We'll do a further damage assessment, but I think it's just that belt coming off and the header not wanting to stay on to the head. So we'll let you guys know. Not a very successful pass whatsoever, but we will overcome. We'll get back on the track.
Show it off. Yeah, I think that's a problem, Will. You gave her all the beans, bro.
I gave him.
And you...
Didn't do anything with them, but I gave him to him. A little side note on top of our other fun activities that we're dealing with the cars not working and everything else, is our tow rig, our dually broke on the way in here. We had transmission issues. It ended up being an electrical problem. Now we're having DEF issues, the diesel exhaust fluid stuff for emissions. It's completely garbage. But thankfully, we have Tyler here laying in the dirt for us, trying to fix our dually so we can go home after this whole thing's over.
Thanks, Ty. That looks like it sucks.
That'll be a nice truck.
A running race car doesn't matter if you don't have a running tow rig to bring it home.
Yeah, especially 1,000 miles from home.
Exactly.
And especially when this rig would take a lot of logistics to get home.
Pretty heavy.
How are we doing, bro?
We're doing. We are attempting to get a smaller belt on. Just the water pump so we don't blow the engine up. Alternator's not necessary. I'll push the car through the staging lanes. We have another belt coming later today that fits with the alternator. So hopefully by the time we need headlights and brake lights, we'll have the alternator belt. If not, we'll be charging the battery.
And what's fun is he has to do a very interesting way because there's no tension or anything. We're just hoping that we could somehow move something enough to catch and then pop it and screw it in. It is on there. Look at that.
Really tight. I wish we could get one that was a little bit longer, but we're gonna run it. We'll give it some RPM in the pits here and see if it can take it. Hopefully we don't shred the water pump. We'll see.
Yeah. If not, I think there's a water pump on that car over there that'll work on it.
There is, and I brought a spare that's in the truck.
Oh, that works.
We're dialed.
Thanks, bro. Good job.
Thanks, Mike.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you both. and 13.32. So we're lined up for the Battle of the Beaters now. The Barbecuda held together after that last pass with Alex. The rules for this whole thing is your car is judged by David Freiberger and Derek Beery from Drivetrain Garage themselves, one by one, to see if your car is less than $5,000. If it is, you're in. If it's worth more than $5,000, you go into the bogus class where some really fast stuff goes, and it's a very good chance that we aren't going to win that. So we're hoping they're going to let us in. We're going to be able to race some of the other slow cars and get this thing done. It's going to be a blast. It's always fun. There's some ridiculous stuff that rolls through the line.
The Barbecuda. So this is the 68 Plymouth Barracuda that formerly belonged to Steve Dulcich of Roadkill Garage. And it was in the California fires after he had loaned it out to a friend, and you see what happened to it. It scorched bad. And he was so depressed that I suggested, Steve, let's do an episode, just make it run. And we came up with one of the most genius project car names ever, the Barbecuda. And we made it run and drive, but then Steve burned out on it again. And did he give or sell it to you guys?
He gave it to us.
He gifted it, and what did you do since then?
Well, we've swapped a small block Chevy into the thing, and the Mopar community's very upset with us, but it was our cheapest way to make some horsepower, and it is going down the track. It's living once again.
So the Barbecuda, famous television car, of course. They improved the interior. They put a roll bar in it. Hopefully, you know, it's welded to weakened sheet metal from the fire. And it does, in fact, have a small block Chevy that would fit pretty good if it weren't for these hideous, like, exhaust manifold situation.
I was actually looking for a turbo for a minute with the way this is designed, essentially. But
note how it's no boost going in.
So we got an Edelbrock Performer head, air gap intake, probably a Brawler carb on that. MSD ignition, headers. Pretty basic.
Yeah, the engine seems okay. Otherwise, the smell. I mean, I've got to bow out on this one. This is 100% crowd. So, the Barbecuda from Roadkill Garage with a small block Chevy in it. Is it in? Or out? He's in.
Big in.
That's pretty in. That's pretty in. All right.
Right on, man.
It smells like bacon. Get it out of here.
We're out.
I like how the steering wheel hasn't changed. It's literally just the wire.
It is.
Yeah.
I like that you took our fuel jug out of the grill. Oh, we got license plates that say Barbecuda. Looks like they're fake, though.
They're fake.
I was about to say, this has a title? That would be incredible.
Woo! We're in, baby. We are in. I think they liked it. The crowd absolutely loved it, and we are in. We are staged up for Battle of the Beaters. We only got 4 cars in front of us, and they're rolling out 4 lanes here, or I don't know how many lanes. We're gonna be down the road quick, so we'll see what this thing does. Hopefully it holds together and it can do what it's been doing, and running some low 13s, and maybe we can crack a 12. I don't know. The air's getting cooler out here. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
Here is the Barbecuda from Roadkill Garage, the former Steve Dulcich car. It has got a small block Chevy with that Barracuda, and it moves out. The small block Chevy in the Malibu in the far lane has been a player here in the past, but man, the Barbecuda is just gonna show him the door, man.
13-1, best time. Let's go! Round 2, baby. We're moving on to round 2. That felt great. They went to a pro tree. It was so fast. My life was probably terrible. But that's okay. We won. That's all that matters. Thank you, brother. Go!
That felt good. We're doing a nut and bolt check on the engine because everything loosens up pretty quickly.
Headers are loose, carburetor's loose.
While we're at it, there's this piece of foam. It's got a ton of dirt in it. And we're going to take out.
We want more air.
Yeah, we need more air. More air, more power.
We're supposed to test and tune during the test and tune, but right now we're doing the race and tune.
We had to get the car to stay together during the testing tune. Now we're just trying to make it go faster.
Another last minute thing, we are charging the battery because they're running a different class before us. This is give us the perfect time because this is already down to 11 and we need it up because we have to run headlights and a tail light now, or a headlight rather.
Here we go, round 2, going up against the Datsun. This guy said he was running right about what I just ran, so this is going to be a drag race.
The Barbecuda is back, as is the LS-powered Datsun 520 pickup. Small block Chevy in the Barbecuda.
Go!
What a month we'll do in the garage!
God damn!
Dude, that was freaking awesome.
Barbecuda! Let's go! Yes! We're moving on to round 3. We're still running. Vitals look great. That felt good. I don't know what we ran, but it felt good. Thank you, my friend. Yes! 1287! Woohoo! We got a 12-second race car! Let's go! Woohoo! Yeah! Woohoo! 1287, baby! My friends and I built a 12-second race car. Let's go. We went 1287 at 104. Let's go! Yes! Woo! Let's freaking go!
What are you doing?
I'm going out the motor between passes. I don't know why, but I like doing it. Shake and bake, baby.
Shake, I am back.
Shake and bake. At least I'm running another Chevy.
That's right, baby. We'll see you on the other side.
Have fun.
Oh, yeah.
Man, the Barbecuda's just been plowing them down here. Barbecuda, small block Chevy powered. They said they did it because it was way cheaper. OBS is going to enjoy his last moments of the duct tape drag as he watches the Barbecuda drive out of his life.
1281, dude. It's improving. We're getting better, dude.
Easy win.
Let's go, dude.
Let's do it, bro.
We're doing the thing.
We won, but I short shifted really bad. That's okay. We're moving on to the next round. We're gonna head back to the pits, nut, bolt, everything. Thank you, brother. 1281. We just keep getting faster. Yes. There's more in it, dude. I short shifted it. It blurred for a second. I thought it was the rev limiter. It was not. And we went 1281.
What was your reaction time?
521.
521?
Yeah, it didn't feel good. But he double bowled me, so I didn't have much time to get in there. Woo! We just keep going faster. The Barbecuda rips.
It does more than live.
Dude. I gave it less on the hit because I don't want a red light. That knocked me down to a 182 to the
yeah, but your overall ET is better. Your mile power is the same.
Yeah.
Hey, guy just ran an 11:42.
Well, we're not beating him, but hopefully I can beat whatever guy I run up against next. We ain't winning it, but
Hey, we're deep in it.
we're gonna run as long as we can, baby. Alright, we're up against this black Camaro, and this thing is fast. He's running 11. I'm hoping we can take it home and see red lights or something, but it's not looking good for the Barbecuda.
Come on, 12.6?
Try.
12.6, I think sounds pretty good.
That sounds good enough to drink a beer after.
Everyone that's here's got a small block in their car.
Hey, whatever happens, we won.
We won, dude.
We won.
We built a 12-second car in 2 months on a dirt floor.
Yeah.
That's a win.
Uh-huh.
That's a win, dude.
Let's race Barbecuda, which has been running in the 12s, to this guy in the 3rd gen that I believe has been in top 11s. Now Barbecuda was pushing through the beam, sort of filling its face out of the hole.
Everyone at 13.4.
Battle of the meters. Here out. We went 1340 at 104.
They just re-prepped the track, so
It's like they slicked it down.
Yeah, they took a lot of the stickiness off.
Yeah.
Dude, you were in the lane too.
Yeah, that right lane sucks.
It does.
It spun bad. My mile per hour is the same. I still went 104, but I went 1340.
It was all the launch. It was all the launch.
Yeah, the launch was trash.
It was like,
But hey, we
top
won,
7,
dude.
baby, top 7.
We went 1281 at 104 miles an hour in the Barbecuda.
For anyone that thinks we can't do this stuff, we're doing it. Dude.
We're doing it.
We're only gonna get faster from here.
Wow, that was awesome.
Was it worth all those long nights of advancing?
100%. 100. We just ran 12s, dude. Are you kidding me? Yes, this was awesome. Wow, dude. All
Let's park the car.
So I am currently around the corner from Steve Dulcich's house. We've taken the Barbecuda off the trailer, and I'm gonna pull it up to him and see what he thinks. He's not seen it. I don't think he's seen pictures or anything of what we've done so far. So this should be exciting.
Will's very excited to show you. Well, we're both very excited to show you.
Oh, that's the car. Oh, he drove it back?
Hi, Steve.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to see the Barbecuda. Oh, yeah, of course, you too, Will.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. Look at that.
He's a ripper.
I like the little exhaust system trick here.
We had to get away from the steering box.
Yeah.
And then we couldn't just do it to one side, it had to match.
No, that worked out pretty good.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah.
We didn't have another option really. The Chevy didn't fit very well.
Well, no, that worked out good.
It's got so much torque, it just can't keep the scoop on straight.
Yeah.
We've done some work though.
They sure have. A lot more than I would have. See, it would have just sat around.
Right.
You know. So.
Well, it being one of our.
That's why I said go for it.
We did it.
I wish I would have made it to duct tape, but I had, you know, like family come over, so it's busy.
Well, that's all right. We had a blast, and you can just believe us.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah. But no, we had a blast building this thing. It was a mad thrash to get it all done.
Yeah.
But we even found the same wheels that you had on it.
I noticed that.
In the episode.
I saw you like on somewhere. I don't know where. YouTube, Instagram. Somewhere. I was like, wow, that looks pretty good.
So yeah, with the gas cans there, everything's there. That was by Freiberger's
That
request.
sounds pretty good. Tell me about the motor.
So it's a 90s like truck motor, 350.
350, so it's got the one-piece rear main seal. It's got a hydraulic roller
Yes,
block.
yep. And it has a hydraulic roller cam in it.
Oh, good.
That Summit cam that we talked about. And you told me to advance the thing 6 degrees, which I did.
Yeah.
The pistons that I'm using, they're like Speed Pro L22Fs, the like pretty standard like replacement flat tops.
Yeah. How high do they come up?
They're 23 in the hole.
Wow, that's not bad.
Yeah. 62 cc chambers on the heads.
You got some compression then.
Yeah.
Depending on your gasket. What kind of gasket do you use?
28 thou. So I tried to tighten it up as best I could. I didn't have the deck surface to run anything other than a composite.
Well, that's what you want to do. You were paying attention then.
Yeah.
I can tell you were paying attention. That makes all the difference.
Yeah.
It sounded sharp.
It's the fastest thing I've ever driven.
It's got the Team G.
It has the Team G on it, which is pretty cool. We were trying to go with the tunnel ram, but we had the Team G, and I've never played with 2 carburetors at once, so I said let's fire it up with the single carburetor, and then we can move on to 2. And the 2 just never happened. We ran out of time.
You got the quick fuel. What size is that?
750.
Yeah.
And
they're hard to beat.
The thing out of the box. Like I've done nothing.
No,
to it.
the quick fuels are nicely calibrated.
And it was, I mean, half the price of a Holly.
Yeah.
So
you got yourself a little aluminum radiator in there.
It's way too small.
Yeah.
It was for like a 65 Nova with a straight 6.
Yeah.
And a fan that is too big for the little radiator, but it helps. It moves 2400 CFM.
Oh, that's what you want.
Yeah. So, but we weren't planning on street driving the thing anyways, you know.
Well, you got a 430 gear in it, you told me.
456.
Oh, 56.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, you must have been winding out at the top of the quarter with the 56.
It's screaming. I set the rev limiter to 6700. So I was basically working off of the rev limiter. But going through the traps, I was probably sneaking up on the rev limiter, but I wasn't there yet. So
yeah.
But it was screaming. It sounded wild up at the big end.
Nice.
But yeah, she went 1281 at 104.
Who did the roll bar?
We did.
Yeah.
That was our first one.
Pretty good.
Thank you.
You have a bender, or did you buy some kind of a?
Yeah, we just bought a bender, and this was our first time doing it. So there's a couple of imperfections, and I now, having done it, I would have done it a little bit differently, but it works. And yeah, it's kind of a pain to get in and out of now. Like our door latch.
Yeah, I was just kind of working that out.
Yeah.
It looks like on this side you got a regular door latch, and on that side you have a barn door latch.
Right. So we did that on both sides, and then I was looking into NHRA tech, and I said I don't think they're gonna let us run with that on the driver door.
Oh, really? No deadbolt on the driver door?
They don't like deadbolts, and you need to be able to open the door from the inside and the outside.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we had to.
What do you have out here?
So we've got a cable pull there.
Oh, okay.
So that rips it up there, and then I've got it running through the window net bar here, so I can open it from in here without having to reach all the way back. And it worked pretty good.
Ingenious,
right?
We did that 2 a.m. but the night before we left.
Yeah, and I figured they'd like the striker being on the roll bar rather than the what's left of the body of the car.
Yeah. A pretty good job for a first attempt, for sure.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
We didn't realize how much math there was. Like, there was so much math in the learning.
You got to use the Pythagorean theorem to get your length of your diagonals.
It's a whole thing.
Pythagorean, he was an ancient Greek philosopher and mathematician.
Okay.
Yeah, he came up with the theorem.
Gotcha.
Yeah, a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
That was it.
Something like that.
Something like that. I don't know. We figured it out, obviously.
Yeah, I didn't know you ancient mathematics.
Yeah, well,
you were like the.
I'm a whiz.
You're going to build a pyramid next.
That's right.
What you're doing out back, right?
That's right.
As long as it has a small block Chevy, we'll build a pyramid.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys stopped by, because I was like a little bummed out I missed it.
I know. We when we got the news you weren't going to make it, I'm like, man, Steve, we got your car running.
Yeah.
You were going to take it down the drag
it's
strip.
your car. Once they did the handoff, it's not my car anymore.
Well,
I mean,
previously yours.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
Just 1, 2, and you're done. All right, here we go. Dulcich in the Barbecuda again. It burns rubber. What do you think, Steve?
Oh, it's good to have her back on this home territory.
That's right.
You know, yeah, it's like a blast from the past. I like this car. You did a great job, Will.
Well, thank you.
Your whole team over at Rob Knock Ranch. You guys, top boys.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And you're not mad about the Chevy?
I'm happy about the Hey, it's not my car anymore.
Perfect.
You could put a Honda in there for all I'm concerned. It'd be great. But the Chevy, actually, I like Chevys.
Well, good. I'm glad. Yeah. We like it too.
I'm a Mopar guy, Chevy guy, Pontiac guy, and a Mercury guy.
You're a car guy.
Yeah, a car guy.
There we go.